How to find real motivated sellers in 2024. What is up, guys? Zach Ginn here.
Rick Ginn here.
And in today's video, we kind of want to give you a market update for how to find wholesaling real estate deals in 2024. We want to give you a market update on exactly the state of the union for wholesaling real estate. What we want to do is really give you what's going on in wholesaling real estate 2024 if we were the president of wholesale real estate, and really give you exactly what's going on, because there's some big changes happening right now, especially when it comes to finding deals, doing deals, and getting deals closed that I truly believe you need to know right now for wholesaling real estate success. And so it's a lot of changes going on, a lot of things that are really going to open your eyes today. I think there's some statistics no one in the wholesaling real estate industry has ever shown, like actual proof of what's going on, that I truly believe you should be looking at. So we see the big picture of this wholesaling game and how you can do more wholesaling real estate deals. And so we're super excited. We're jacked up today. And obviously we're doing this address live. We're not live in the comments. We are not fake live. So the one thing I like to do to kick off the show, especially when, we're not fake. We're not fake live. We're not premiering this. We are doing this live. So I always show time.gov. Got to show everyone really quick that this is a live show. Oh, you can't really fake this one, right? Huh? Shocker. So you see we're actually live here, right?
Yeah.
Shocker, right? No, we got the date on here. We got the address. We got the government website. Wow, we're actually live here, huh? Shocker. Okay, so now that you know they're actually live and we're not fake live, we know exactly what's going on currently in this business and what you can start doing for wholesaling success. So without further ado, let's break it all down and let's share exactly the state of the union for wholesaling real estate in 2024. And so we got an interesting PDF I think is really important to share of exactly kind of what's going on in wholesaling real estate, right? I think this is going to be some big changes coming down the line and stuff I want to talk about. So let's go here. Let's talk about this. Let's zoom in a little so we kind of understand exactly. So we got our 2024 wholesaling real estate update. What is going on? What are some of the biggest changes that we're seeing going on in the industry and what can we do? So let's kind of talk about first and foremost, what has changed? Because I think there's been some big changes in the industry. Okay. A lot of wholesalers, they truly believe wholesaling real estate's this thing that doesn't change. You do the old methods, but really a lot of things do change on this. So let's kind of talk about the first thing. SMS text blasting is getting killed. Okay. I cannot, hide the fact that a lot of these big companies right now, when it comes to their SMS text blasting, it's not doing well. These new regulations are coming down the line and they're really changing the way that people are text blasting. Now, this isn't actually regulation per se. I think a lot of people, there's regulation with it. It's technically not regulation what's going on. What's actually happening is these carriers, Verizon, Sprint, T-Mobile, any of them, right? Unfortunately, they are self-regulating, which means they're saying, hey, no more spam for wholesaling. You got to put opt-out language. And it's not really like the good old days, back in the good old days when you were able to just do whatever you wanted, wherever you wanted, and you could just do any texting possible, right? Mm-hmm. And so now the companies are kind of changing a little, right? We still like launch control, but they need to make some changes. And they know this, right? They actually told me that they're trying their best to make these changes, but changes do need to be happening right now. Is it going to happen? I truly believe so. But SMS text blasting, I see a lot of people that was like their main lead source. And if you kind of don't adapt and you don't look above the vision of what's going on, you're going to get killed, right? And this happens for marketing all over wholesaling real estate, right?
Yeah, it's just, listen, when SMS came out, I thought it was one of the greatest inventions ever. But I knew once everybody jumped on it and every guru pitched it out there, it was eventually going to get shut down because it is somewhat out of control, guys. You have to admit it. And it's just not in the real estate space. So you're going to find out in the current elections here. But listen, sometimes you just got to pivot and change. We did RVMs. They were amazing, but they basically got outlawed, at least in Florida and throughout most of the United States. And every time you have these disruptive technologies, they're usually short-term fixes. And I'm all about riding that wave, but there comes a point of diminishing returns where they just don't work. So this is why we're basically having this live stream to share this information with you guys.
I agree. And so let's kind of talk about the first thing. With the SMS text blasting, it's like, what do I do here then? Like, what is the point? What do we got to do? And what's got to change right now, right? I think a lot of people think, oh, it's going to get banned, right? I don't think SMS text blasting per se is going to be like this thing that's going to get absolutely banned. But I truly believe it's going to change. And there's some pivots we're going to make today, and we're going to show you exactly what you got to do so it doesn't get as crazy banned. And so first and foremost, SMS text blasting is getting killed. Changes are going to have to be needed right now, and we're going to show you how to make these changes. Number two, PPL and novations are not the move, okay? I think we've had a whole year of this PPL novation experiment, and it's not going well. So PPL is pay per lead. It's not even pay per click. It's not SEO. It's even worse. They do it all for you, right? So they do the PPC, then they sell you the lead, each lead per se. And unfortunately, I can't really get into the regulations, but there's some big regulations coming down, and I want to make sure the FCC passes them first, where you theoretically can't cold call leads that you didn't capture yourself, or leads that are not yours. You can't pay a software company or a service, buy the leads, and you can't call them, right? You have to do it yourself or pull that information yourself. There are some regulations coming down the line about this, and I think it's going to absolutely kill most PPL companies. PPC SEO, not the worst, honestly. And I'm going to kind of tell you exactly why I don't think they're actually the worst per se. And the next one, novations. Novations are not it. Okay, we've had a whole year of this. We've seen more title companies crack down on this. We've seen more issues. And there are people that live, breathe, die novations. And good for them. I truly believe the risk greatly outweighs the rewards on that, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, novation is just substituting one contract for the other. But if somebody thought a wholesaling was misleading, and I heard somebody say, well, novations are more transparent. Really? You're going to put in a fake contract to hold it hostage to replace it with a retail paying contract while holding the homeowner obligated to you, signing a power of attorney, and then signing basically a BS recorded lien. That's about as bad as it gets. I mean, there are 3 major violations right there. Not even to mention your fiduciary responsibility. To me, I think it's just a clearer path to go to wholesaling. And then the fact that you teach us to newbies and tell people you can pay retail for their house. This is why we have all the problems in novations, because they have such a high failure rate, because partnering up with a distressed seller. Have you ever had a bad business partner? This strategy is you're going out and seeking bad business partners, and a lot of them are going to blow up on you. And here's the best part. Well, if it all falls apart, whoever recorded the legal documents, which most likely going to be you, because they're all self-help guru kits, you are going to be held accountable, and you're going to go after you for defamation of title and all sorts of fiduciary responsibilities. That's why I don't like it. It has nothing to do with wholesaling. All they're trying to do is trying to leverage what wholesaling does and doing tricky paperwork in the background. You're better off just doing wholesaling up front. To me, at least, you're more transparent about it, because it has such a high failure rate. I just don't agree with it, because if it doesn't work out, you have to unwind a lot of stuff, and that's where people get really upset. So
I agree.
We saw it come. It was mostly a course grab, and that's why it's all falling apart right now, because title companies don't like it. Homeowners are being taken advantage of. And for that reason, if you put that tool in the wrong hands, it can do some serious damage. And if you put it in someone's hands that have never done a real estate deal, you're just asking for disaster. Just like I tell you guys, when you do creative financing, I teach you how to identify the opportunity, and I teach you to get help when you want to take them forward, so you don't do everything on your own, because that's where you're going to get in trouble. If you don't understand what you're signing, the legal documents, that's when you wind up court trying to explain to a judge, I thought I knew it, and the judge tells you didn't. So guys, learn and master wholesaling first.
I agree. Guys, no novations, all right? So the third one, and probably one of the biggest things that we got to talk about today, is the internet traffic from motivated sellers is getting insane. Like it is absolutely, it's kind of ridiculous, really. And so let me kind of show you a little chart here. Let's look at the internet search history statistics for sell my house cash. Okay. These are people putting in Google, sell my house for cash, right? Look at that chart right there. Look at that. It is up a stupid amount. If you really look at this like chart of people looking to sell their house cash, I mean, this was 2020, right? When it should have been the biggest, right?
Yep.
And look at this thing. It just keeps spiking. And the amount of people looking to sell their house for cash is increasing. The amount of people putting it into the internet is increasing. And so this is massive. I know we talk about like pre-foreclosures rising, but like think about when I started like 2016, 2017 right here. What was that? There's almost 4 times more internet traffic, people looking to sell their house for cash. And there's always going to be motivated sellers, FYI. But it's increasing them trying to do it over the internet. And this poses a huge, now you can either choose this, an opportunity or a bad thing. I look at it as an opportunity. And we actually have shown you free methods on how to do this. Free methods on how to use the internet to get massive wholesaling real estate deals that cost no money at all. It's insane to me. I mean, look at the stats here. Isn't this crazy?
That's nuts.
And so what are we going to do about this? Like, what do you think this means? We should probably try to utilize some internet marketing to get wholesaling real estate deals done, right?
Yeah, I mean, it seems fit that more and more people go on the internet to try to like figure out. The old ways was reach out to a realtor, answer an ad in the back of the newspaper. I mean, I started before they even had mine was flatline in 2003 because nobody did it back then. But a lot of the methods we teach, you can take advantage of this traffic because every guru is going to tell you, just go get a PPC company. I have a company for you and go ahead and set it up. Let them all do that. Use the techniques me and Zach show you to actually access this traffic. And if you don't have any money or you're basically broke, it is a brilliant method because more and more people are going online to figure out how to get their real estate needs met. And most of you think you have to do pay-per-click. Pay-per-click is not a beginner strategy. You do not want to start there unless you have a deep, deep background and you have maybe a job or some sort of consulting gig you've gone from or you have a partner in it. You are going to get killed by these third-party companies. The failure rate's almost 99%. That's how bad it is.
I wouldn't say 99, but it's pretty high. It's like
the amount of people that start
Yeah.
and stay, most people are small operators. If they don't get a return in 90 days, they quit. And the problem is PPC takes much longer than 90 days. You've got to fight through the crowd and you've got to get consistent traffic. And the only way you can do that is with volume and money.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay. So this is sell my house cash. And then you just look at like sell my house fast. I'm just some of the most popular ones. The stats just keep growing, right? And you can kind of see like the beginning and the start of the year is kind of when things spike. It's kind of interesting. You look at that. But do you see big spikes happening after January? It's kind of interesting just looking at the stats here. But like I think this was 2020 right here, obviously. But it's just insane the amount. And so looking at the stats here, we should do some type of internet marketing, right? Now, I'm not telling you to do SEO or PPC, right? I think digital bandit signs is a great option for most people. But heck, even going out here and just making posts on Facebook, people are going to look you up online. Like just the sheer amount of volume coming in off the internet of motivated sellers, we should be looking at this. We should be looking at this as a way to find motivated sellers and wholesaling real estate deals. No one talks about these stats, but these are stats that are insane to me. It's mind-blowing to me. And so we got to be doing it, right? And so let's talk about number 4 here. Interest rates, in my opinion, and I think your opinion too, they're probably going to be dropping. Not massively, but they have indicated that the interest rates are not going to be hiking anymore. There's going to maybe see 1 or 2 cuts. And I do see that being good for home prices. And I truly do believe, I think we're going to see some rates dropping just a little bit, which is going to be a little more of a push to make a little more per deal with the buyers, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're ever going to go back to pre-pandemic interest rate levels. Like, guys, I don't think it's a bit of a prediction. I don't think you're going to see it in your lifetime. 2 and 2.9%. I've never seen it since I'm doing this. So the real hover rate, like it seems that once you get into the fives on 30-year mortgages, everyone seems pretty happy, and it kind of keeps a balanced economy. The problem is if you go too low, you get the extreme stuff we have. You go too high, it deflects people from wanting to invest in really anything that requires capital. So right now, I think we're hovering about 6.6, 6.75, and it goes up and down a quarter depending on what happens. Soon as you can get like 5.9, you're going to see a lot of activity. Remember, people have really held back the last 2 to 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
But remember, the average person only stays on a home in a 30-year mortgage for 5.5 years. We're rapidly approaching that number. And I've learned in business, especially in real estate, there's an ebb and flow. When they cut interest rates or they jack up interest rates, there's huge responses to it. And everybody's waiting for signals. So they're going to probably do 1 or 2 rate drops. They're going to be, I believe, extremely minor. But if we can get around 5.5, even 5.9, I think we're going to see a tremendous amount of inventory come on the market, which is perfect. That's what we want as wholesalers. We want stuff moving around. I don't care if the market's super high or it's low, but as long as there's movement and there's activity, then there's opportunity for us to buy discounted properties from motivated sellers.
All day, every day. But interest rates going down is going to help us in wholesaling sell the deals a little more. Sellers aren't really going to catch on to it too much. If we see a big trend, it's going to be a lot of money for us to be making wholesaling. Like I've talked about the cycle since I was 19 of how real estate cycles work, just from reading books and talking to all this stuff. Like it's that just really quick. So the cycles, how wholesaling and real estate works is usually real estate goes down. All right, we'll start there, right, and then they start because interest rates usually are higher because of something. Economy's good, they make it a little higher, and then they kind of cut the rates kind of to boost the economy. Then everything goes back up. And when everything goes up, the seller still thinks that the housing prices are bad because they take forever to figure things out. Cash buyers already know what's going on, so they will pay more because they know real estate's going up. And then, especially interest rates getting cut, we make the most money during that cycle. Now, when it goes down, sellers still think that the market's good because they take forever to realize this. Buyers know it's bad, so they'll pay less. Sellers want more. So when real estate kind of dips hard down, it's the hardest to do it. And really 2023 is probably the best example of it, of real estate going down. And it wasn't even that bad. A lot of people are making a ton of money. And so honestly, 2023 is probably one of the hardest years looking back to get into wholesaling. But 2024 with interest rates going down, it's going to be money. And so you got to know what you're doing though, right? There's some huge opportunities coming down the line. I think this is the first one. So interest rates may drop. My opinion, I think we're 7.5% right now. Mortgage rates, I think we're going to be at 6 by the end of the year. So I'm not an expert. I'm assuming 2 rate cuts, 2 25 basis point cuts, and that's just my opinion. So what do you think? I think 2-quarter rate. That's my thought.
So you guys got to understand, the bank just puts usually about a 2-point premium on the 10-year note. And so if you ever want to calculate, just track the 10-year note, because 30 and 15-year mortgages follow it exactly. So depending on someone's credit, depends if they're paying 7.5, or you can get as low as like 6.8, 6.9 last I checked. So the idea is if we can get sub 5, it's going to I think it's going to have a sling back effect, because so many people have held back. So many people want to refi. Guys, listen, the United States, everything's super expensive and people rely on the equity in their house. A lot of people just refi their house to pull out cash, to buy pools, to buy, cars and stuff like that. So they're all waiting for that perfect rate. Once the drops start, then it should open up the floodgates. So the stock market's already priced in like 0.65, 65% of a rate cut in June. So hopefully it'll start in June. I don't see them going down more than 50 basis points in 2024, but hopefully it'll put us at like a 5.9. And if it does, we'll be on it. But I think we're constantly going to hover between 5.25 and 5.75 in the long run for probably the next 5 to 10 years. I don't know, but 2.9, guys, is not going to happen because we have too much debt in this country, and they want to use fiscal policy to stimulate or reduce, basic to stimulate the economy. And if it gets too low, they're stuck. So I think 5 is the pendulum where it goes either way. But I think 5.5, 5.75 is where we're going to wind up.
You're not. I don't think you're wrong there. 5.5. That's lower than I'd expect. But if it's like that, sure, I don't mind that.
I think. Listen, if we get 5.9 by December, I'd be really excited. I think it's going to be
5.5. That's very low. If that happens, I think go crazier.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, it's a lot of money for me because I mean the rental property is gonna be good.
Yeah, but keep in mind, even like a used car is 11% right now, and to buy a new car, you're around 8%. Maybe you get 1% less if you have like really perfect credit, but guys, those are all numbers that are washing into everybody's budgets. People buying houses, and mortgages are all determined off your debt to income ratio. How much debt do you have? How much income do you have? And once you exceed a certain number of 55%, you don't qualify for the mortgage anymore.
It gets tough.
And so as groceries go up, car payments go up, gas goes up, it dwindles people's budget. So unless we have an explosion in salaries, which we don't, it's going to be a struggle.
Yeah. And so it's a push and pull for us because when I buy rental properties and, short-term rentals and things like that, we just buy them cash, right?
Yeah.
Just buy them cash. And so I love it when mortgage rates are 8% because I'll just buy the thing cash, get a great deal, and I rent it out and I make my money, right?
Yeah.
Now, the issue is when I'm flipping houses, right? Because then I'm trying to sell the deal to a guy at 8% mortgage. It's tough. So it's a push and pull. Overall, it's a net for me because if interest rates go to 5.5, then I'll make more money flipping houses and I won't get as good of deals on my Airbnbs. But if I buy it, all my Airbnbs go up. So it's kind of it's a push and a pull. So very interesting. So let's talk about number 5 here. Old school marketing is working more. So old school is working more than ever. Everyone and their mom is doing the guru methods, right? They're buying the guru's new software that they came out with, or that they white labeled, and everyone's getting the same list. Everyone's calling the same thing, and everyone's doing so I did a video yesterday of exactly why cold calling doesn't work for most wholesalers. And the truth is, this is a cringy term, but a lot of you wholesalers are like sheep. Whatever the shepherd tells them to do, they do. So every single person tells me to use the software, pull the same high equity list, and just okay, go do it. And I'm not even talking about YouTube because I think this is really important. I'm very well networked. My phone, if you make over $5 million a year in wholesaling real estate, I most likely have you on my contact list because y'all try to talk to me about some interesting things. And all these people have already bought every guru course, and they always let me inside the courses. And I've pretty much looked at every single paid real estate wholesaling or creative finance course on the internet. I've had access to all of them. I've looked at them. I've studied them all. And it is very sad for me. I've looked at probably $1 million of real estate course material over the 2023, right? Mm-hmm. And it's very sad that once you pay the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 grand, I get the recordings of the masterminds. It's like they tell you to do the same. They all tell you to do the same thing. Pull list from PropStream, most of them. Some say batch, right? Pull from either of those two. Pull the high equities, 60%, and then pray that it works. And then pay a bunch of money for a VA. That's what 80% of them are doing. And then the other half are send some direct mail, but use this really bad postcard. It's just sad. And then the other ones are text blast. I'm like, oh boy. Look at number 1 of what's going on, right? And I just see this cycle. It's like, but that's what everyone's doing. And if you keep doing that, you're going to get killed. And here's another issue. And I'm not talking bad about SEO or PPC, but people who do the SEO, if you want to do PPC the right way, just being honest, unless you actually know what you're doing, which you definitely don't know, you have to use a company, right, to go do it for you, which is fine. Yeah. And there are actually some decent wholesaling PPC companies. And I was talking to somebody, and they're like, "Oh, I know you hate PPC, and we're using this." And I was like, "Huh? We've done JV deals with guys that have got leads from that company, and so they're legit. Now, are they the best for you? No, they're not the best for bang for your buck. But the problem is if everyone starts going to the same PPC, stuff gets rough, man. I'm just being honest. Yes, there's more people on it, but once you saturate it up, PPC sellers are a different animal. That's all I can say. You're not going to get the same loyalty with the motivated seller, and you're honestly going to make less money if you run just a regular cold calling operation with the right way. And you just make more money cold calling government lists and lists that just no one and their mom does, and just doing the old school methods. The PPC works good. It gets expensive, guys, and that ROI, return on investment, just isn't there for most people. Same thing with Facebook ads. And so, yeah, old school, it's working more. I'm telling you, old school stuff that we talk about has always been working because it's been working for decades, and it won't stop. So keep it up. Keep the old school marketing going. I promise you it'll work. Just heck, even driving for dollars. I know I'm crazy talking about it, but no PPC guy is going to get a hot driving for dollars lead and the owner lives out of state. Just telling you. So let's go down here to number 6 here. Every market is differently changing. And what do I mean by this? If I look statistically at all these markets, right? And so let me pop up some stats here. Real estate wholesaling and real estate in general is a market play. Okay. Let's look at some different markets and just show you the differences that are going on in 2024. So for example, if I look at like Phoenix, Arizona, Phoenix is up 3.5% year over year, which is crazy. That's great, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I go to kind of a more saturated market, like Austin right now is down 6.2%. Now, if I go out here to, let's do Memphis. Memphis, Tennessee is down 4.5%. There's just different markets that are like, some markets out here are up 6%, some are down 7%. And whatever it really is, it's going to make a big difference you're going to see. And so we have people who do markets where it's down 10% and then some where it's up 10%. You're going to have a different type of seller there. You're going to have a different type of buyer too. So if real estate's down 10%, your buyers are not going to be as happy to go buy your house for a stretch. But if it's the other way around or everything's going up, like we see here in Florida, it's easy. And so I'm not telling you choose a market solely based off of that, but I'm telling you are going to see some big differences going down the line here. And it's definitely something you should be looking at. But every market's changing. So like you got to look at your specific market too, because each one does change. Next here, number 7. This is a big one. But Gemini AI has really changed the way for most wholesalers. And so let me show you this example, right? I literally used Gemini last night to do this. So if I'm going to run a digital bandit sign campaign or just try to like make a post or like do something where I find motivated sellers, I did, what did I say? I said, join the image says Zach buys houses cash ATL. So Atlanta, right? And basically it just has a little puppy. I said, have a puppy hold it. Zach buys houses cash ATL, right? Now we can have it move there. Like Zach buys houses cash ATL. I can just post that. So I'd probably go, in my opinion, I would go to a dog lovers group on Facebook and just post that image. I'm telling you, I know it sounds crazy, but dog lovers love dogs.
Say it again.
And they're like, wow. And I'm not being weird, but like, they're gonna be like, how did you Photoshop that? Or how did you make that image? That's crazy. I love dogs. That's such cute. And then boom, you do it like that. I know it sounds crazy to me, but like you do sports teams. So I think when I was doing the AI tutorial for Gemini, if you go on freewholesaling.com, I go, okay, let's do the Georgia Bulldogs fan group. I had one UGA, right? I had UGA hold the Zach buys houses cash.
That his name?
Yeah, UGA. Okay. UGA, University of Georgia at Athens. UGA, that's his name. I mean, I went to UF, so like, it pains me to do that, but like, whatever. But like, it's crazy, and so you can do that, right? And so like, you can do like a Seminole, right, and do that, right? Yeah. But like, I'm just telling you, like, you could just have stuff like this, and I know it sounds weird, but like, look, the dog's holding that. That's funny. It's super funny. Now it doesn't do phone numbers, unfortunately, but the AI is changing some things. I know it sounds stupid right now, but if you just post, you can generate 30,000 images in like 5 minutes, and you can post one every single day into Facebook and Craigslist, and these won't be taken down. And you'll get someone's attention, and you can really use some of that internet traffic to get wholesaling real estate. It doesn't cost no money at all. It's called Gemini AI. It's basically Google's AI. It's free. Do it. Okay. You're watching this on YouTube. You already have a Google account. I don't want to hear it. Number 8. This is a huge one. I've been talking about this since 2021, but TikTok wholesalers are coming. There's nothing you're going to do about it. Okay. The TikTok teenagers in high school right now, they all want the same thing. Okay. Let's talk about a 17-year-old kid in high school. Let's do a guy, for example. He only wants 3 things in life. Okay. He wants money, cars, and girls. That's all they think about. And for them to get those 3 things, they want to get filthy rich fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much what most 17-year-olds really care about that are guys. Just being honest. 99%. Maybe they want to get jacked, right? All right, let's replace I mean, that's not for the getting jacked, right? Some of them don't. And so it's like most of that can be done by just making a bunch of money, right?
Yeah. And guys, the ones you say, oh, TikTok's going to get banned, like they're just going to steer them. They're going to, TikTok will have a choice. They can either divest their U.S. holdings, which they will, because what do you think TikTok's worth? It's going to be a crazy number. What do you think it would go on the open market?
Billions.
Yeah. It's probably going to be 25 to 40 billion. It's going to be a big number. I don't know. It's got a lot of users, but the reality is if they're forced, they'll divest their assets, and trust me, I'm not going to they'll do what they want behind the scenes. So it's not going away anyone. They're just going to force them
YouTube
to,
as their reels, and they'll do the YouTube thing.
It's not going away. You do legislation, but they're going to find a way to set up a U.S. company and divest from their mainland. So it's always going to be here. And by the way, it's been going on for years. So this has already built momentum. Even if you got rid of it tomorrow, there's still
2021 was 3 years ago.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So it's listen, whatever legislation they come up with they'll just divest that company to a U.S. holding, and it's still going to operate. And I don't think a whole lot's going to change. So in my opinion, I know people, I don't think you should ban TikTok, because you could say that's about any other social media influencer. And then why pick one over the other because it's owned by a foreign entity? Listen, cool. I like it because they connect us with everyone, but like too many people are spending way too much time on it.
So the point is Facebook Reels, whatever it is called, they're going to be using it. Everyone knows that. And so TikTok wholesalers are coming. You call it YouTube Reels people, YouTube Shorts, whatever you want to call it, right? But wholesaling real estate is a victim of its own success, where a stupid 17-year-old kid who decides to sit down and cold call leads for a week could find a good seller, make $30,000 because freewholesaling.com teaches them how to do it for free. And he makes $30,000 quick. And what's the first thing they're going to do? They're going to get the cash, do the money spread, post it everywhere. And guess what? It's like a pyramid scheme. Johnny's got $30,000. I want to do that too. Well, I did wholesaling.
My favorite's the fancy card. Like, guys, listen, anyone who's got like a Lambo and then a jet in the background, you guys know what it takes to own a jet. Like, that's big boy money. And you're not doing it on like some little scammer's account. The minute I see a jet, I don't even want to talk to you because I know what you're up to. I already know you got something to sell to the public, and you're trying to over impress upon them, and you're not authentic. Because listen, you have a jet, I'm impressed, but it better be your jet. Anybody can lease a jet. It's so simple to do. And why you guys take 3,000 pictures when you take that one jet ride for 10 or 20 grand, it's not impressive.
Yeah. So TikTok wholesalers are coming. Okay. And so we got to learn what to do about this. They're all going to show them, they're going to show their buddies, and then they're all going to get into wholesaling. And you already see the problem now. All right. And so let's look at this. Okay. Let's look at some of these stats. And so let's look at wholesaling real estate, right? Now we saw a big spike here, 2021, whatever, right? This is really when people were at home and they were like, oh crap, how do I make money, right?
The peak of the gurus.
So it's still there.
Yeah.
And so like this, you can kind of cut out. So cut this part out, and you still see since 2016, you see a straight line going up, and it's not stopping. Okay. It ain't stopping. And so the honest truth here is, heck, that's the United States, right? Oh, I don't have the. Let's look at Google. Let me show you this. Let's look at the. That's just the United States. I even look at the world because we have so many more international people coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So let's look at this. Let's look at wholesaling real estate for the worldwide stats. So let's call it. Oh my gosh. Wholesaling real estate. Worldwide for the past. Let's see here. Jeez, that's not big at all. I guess the worldwide's not big.
No, there's most countries you can't do this.
Yeah. So I guess I could just get the United
It's not going to help you. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's do this. Oh, it's a search term. My bad. It gets all finicky, you know.
Yeah.
So let's do worldwide. There we go. Yeah. So that's 5 years. So if we look at the 2024 now, so same stat line, right? Let me show. So these are the stats for wholesaling worldwide. And so as you can kind of see here, worldwide wholesaling real estate was not really like a massive thing, right? And then the world started learning about it, and now the curve spiked up. So this is the world. Okay, there's not the United States. A little different than the stat I showed. So they got a lot of international we got international virtual wholesalers watching this, right? You know, we got some regulars coming on asking questions. You know, I don't forget about people. You know, shout out to Jonas. He got his first deal in Sweden.
That's awesome.
So I hope he's watching. But like, we get people all over the world getting this business. And so wholesaling real estate is just getting bigger. That is the truth. And we can choose to either be sad about it, get sad about it, or do whatever we're going to do. But this is just the United States of America. Okay? This is the United States of stinking America. Okay? And so unfortunately, even in the United States, it keeps jacking up. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
And so we got to learn how to actually talk to these people, right? We got to learn to actually have conversations with people. And my best thing I can tell you to do is just do some JV deals with them. I'm telling you, like, hey, you're brand new. Oh, wow, you're in Sweden. You got a deal locked up in my city. How about I'll take the pictures. I'll find the buyer. We split it 50-50.
That makes sense.
You did all the work. You did the cold calling. You locked it up. You did all this stuff. And you could probably do 4 or 5 of that right now. And so I'm telling you that I'm not saying this as a like I know people say this as like a scam term, but like there's 5 guys in Nigeria right now that have 15 deals locked up in your city probably. Nigeria has I think 300 million people in there, and they all speak English, and they are all super smart, and they are wholesaling like that. That's the biggest country I see wholesalers coming from. That in South Africa, and they're making a stupid amount of money wholesaling virtually, and their biggest struggle is finding people to go take pictures of houses. And I'm just stats are coming down. Like it's getting crazy right now. And so we got to work with the TikTok wholesalers. And I'm a guy that says I practice what I preach, right? And so I've seen this trend. So I decided to have sellmypaper.com, which is just our little kind of a dispo. It's not like dispo comp. I don't know what you call it, but like basically we'll JV with you guys. And so I saw this big need for it, and I want to do a bunch of wholesaling deals. So sellmypaper.com. You went to the UPS store yesterday, right? We just picked up the checks. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's been good.
And I was like, geez, Louise. And so mailbox money coming in. It's doing well. So go to sellmypaper.com. I'm telling you guys, right there, it's how you get deals. It's how you make a ton of money in this business. But yeah, wholesaling update 2024, we see the trends going up. Now, most importantly, in 2024, this is an election year.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? Nothing's really going to change, right?
Yeah, you got 2 old men running for it. So
I know, but like, so election years, things don't go crazy, right?
No. Nobody wants to rock the boat till after the election, and that's usually when they drop all the financial like negative news, like, hey, we're missing this amount of money, or hey, this is imploding. So I remember back to 08, right right when they transitioned from presidents, that's when they dropped the foreclosure crisis. By the way, that foreclosure crisis was looming for years, and they wait till somebody gets elected, and then they blame the person that's leaving, and the new one goes, "Hey, I didn't do it, but I'll fix it." And then we go on this repetitive cycle, and it goes on and on and on. So just I understand election year. The only change I see happening this year is a slight reduction in interest rate, and it should peak more inventory to be released in wholesaling. And that's what I love about it. The more houses that sell, the more opportunities we create. So it's up to us. And I will tell you this, one of the changes in the market is information is flowing faster because unfortunately with Zillow and stuff, people are armed with more information on trying to value their own home. So the old days, people just didn't know until like, man, I can't get anyone to buy my house. And wholesaling was very interesting back now. Now everyone's getting like, they're grabbing their phones. They can look at the value of anything, but we'll have to see how that translates because this is the first market where we have super fast data. We'll have to see how fast it responds to the market. I think it'll be just a little bit faster, but I think you're going to have the same old problem. Because what happens when everyone decides to put their house on the market and they stop selling, then the people who put it on first start reducing their prices, more properties stack on, and then that guy's got a list for less. She's got a list for less. And before you know, it's a snowball effect. So it doesn't take much to tip real estate. But remember, guys, it's always slow. It's usually 18 to 24 minimum quarters. And we just got started really mid last year, in my opinion.
No, I agree. And so think about this. It's an election year. So we're going to see interest rates boost to make everyone feel good. Oh, wow, things are going great. That's just what happens. You know, in 2020, same thing happened. You know, they try to get negative interest rates to boost the president that they had back then. I'm not saying any words for the algorithm, but like, it's insane to me. And so nothing crazy is going to happen. Okay. Like now I will tell you, and this has always been something before an election, this is not even for business, but like something crazy always happens to boost interest into something. I'm not conspiracy over here, but I'm just something crazy is going to happen. Probably in August or September. Just be on lookout. Something crazy is happening.
It's always pre-planned.
But something is going to happen. I never get too worried about it because everyone forgets it. And so that's why I don't really go, oh, let's talk about this thing. It's all news cycles and they go away. And so here's the main thing. What should we do? Number one, network. Okay? Use my network. Steal it. I have a network of 133,000 people in wholesaling houses for real. And I can tell anyone, you could probably do 3 JV deals this month. I'm not even kidding you. Like, I'm not even trying to like make it feel good, but like use our network. We have a network of 133,000 people in wholesaling houses for real, my Facebook group, where you can go in there and just message people. Hey, you got a JV deal? Or hey, anyone looking at JV? Hey, I got a bunch of buyers, right? If you have buyers, you can network with these people and actually just message them. You can actually go in the Facebook group and find people, let's say, who live in West Palm Beach, Florida, and message 1,000 of them. Say, hey, if you have any deals or whatever, I'm your guy. And you can message 1,000 people like that, 50 a day. Yeah. You will get deals by doing that. Just let people know who you are. That is it. Simple as that. If you don't let people know who you are, no one's going to send you deals. Like, so how do people send me deals? I tell them, hey, my name's Zach. I make a lot of money. Do some deals with me, right? Simple.
Yeah, you just got to let them know what you do.
And so it drives me crazy. But with 133,000 wholesalers, you think you can do a deal with one of these people this month?
Yeah, absolutely.
12 deals, 10K a deal, 120 grand you can make right now just doing that. It's free too. It's a free stinking network. Come on. You'll spend 10 grand to go on a networking thing, but like you won't do it's crazy. Number 2 here. Implement what 80% of all people do to get their first deal. Cold calling, free SMS, or you can do smsag.com, whatever one you want, and reverse trying for dollars. Seriously, 80% of all wholesalers get their first deal by doing those 3 methods. What else can I tell you? That's where most people do it. And then next here is start posting digital bandit signs. I know I sound crazy, but just do it. I promise you, you're going to get inbound leads, and it's free and it costs no money at all to do. Next here, go old school. Government list and drawing for dollars. I promise you, I'm struggling to get a wholesaling deal, Zach. go old school. Okay, go old school Rocky. Okay, be one of those old boxing trainers, right? It ain't gonna hurt you. All right, doing the old school methods, they do work. Okay, sometimes not doing the crazy new thing all the time. There's some benefits to going old school. And then really important here, but guys, this has always been the way. And I don't know why people kind of stray from this path, but this has always been the way to success. Anyone and everyone. Create a marketing plan, execute that plan, don't give up, and just keep going. All right, create a plan, execute the plan, and not give up. That has always been the way. And the truth here is the reason why I tell people to do a plan, first and foremost, it breeds discipline. The problem is, if you look at most people that are jacked, they have discipline in their working out. If you look at people that are broke, they lack discipline. They might be jacked and broke. That's the funniest combo to me, because they're super disciplined when it comes to working out, eating the right food. But when it comes to spending money, they can't be disciplined with that. Same thing, not shoving $5,000 calories down your throat. You should not be spending $5,000 on Gucci flip flops. So like, it's discipline, and you should have discipline in all things in life, obviously, right? Some things are harder than others. I get it, but like, create discipline in your wholesaling. Show up every single day. Do the 1, 2, 3 hours of cold calling, or 2 or 3 hours drawing for dollars, reverse drawing for whatever it is. Send the text out every single day. Talk to cash buyers of it. Whatever it is, start doing it every single day, and you'll breed discipline, and that discipline will create freedom, wholesaling deals, and make you a ton of money in this business. The problem is, if you don't know the rules of the game, you can't win, right? So how do I get good at basketball? Well, if you don't know how to play basketball, it's going to be a lot harder to be good at it. So learn the rules of the game. Learn my wholesaling real estate rules below at freewholesaling.com, my free real estate wholesaling course. And yeah, that's how you get started. That's our State of the Union for 2024.
No, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I've been doing wholesaling for 21 years. The only thing that changes is the people in it. So the ones that actually stick it out are the ones who do the best. And the reality is, a lot of the old school methods will always work because they've worked for hundreds of years, not 10, 20 years. Everybody must tell you they admitted it. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's up to you. And most of you are complicating this business. Just simplify it. Take the same consistent action every day. And you're going to have to find a way to basically keep your emotions in check, because they will get to you in wholesaling like anything else. And you just got to learn the art of detachment. It's not easy. And remember, if you try to take what me and Zach teach you, and you try to like take the pieces you like and cut out the pieces you don't like, it's like doing a recipe. Like saying you don't like eggs and you take egg out of like a cake mix, it ain't going to taste very good. And same thing in wholesaling, you're not going to have the best result when you do that. So just keep it in mind. And it's ultimately up to you. The two biggest cures in wholesaling, it's real simple. It's get as many leads as you humanly possibly can. You can't have enough. And number two, you have to take an immense amount of action. If you do those two things, it'll cure any of your shortcomings. But if you skip those two things, I don't care how good you think you are, you're not going to make it. It's just the truth. Whenever someone's struggling with, oh, Rick, I've tried everything. I'm like, let's go through everything. I'll show you what everything is. 9 times out of 10, you're not doing the work and you don't have enough leads. Calling 20 people is not going to get you a lot of damage done in your first month of wholesaling. Sorry. So guys, ultimately it's up to you. Me and Zach bleed our hearts and give you everything. And we've removed the barriers. The question is, if I put the key in your lap, I put the instruction manual, are you going to read it and you actually going to do it? Some people like to read. Some people like to do. You've got to be an action taker. If you're not going to do the action and you're just going to talk about it and read through it, you're not going to, it doesn't matter whose course you take. That's going to be the outcome. It's got to be up to you guys.
I agree. And so guys, if you're going to do it, go to freewholesaling.com and let's learn how to do it. So, let's answer some questions and see what we can do here. Shout out to Abdu. Says, I had a question. I was pulling a list of PropStream in my list of, I was pulling with some PropStream in my list of 3,000. And when I put into my dialer, it only let me call like 400. So the rest had no phone numbers. Was it just filtering out the DNC numbers? I don't know what dialer you're using, man. Most likely not. Most likely they were landline. No. Maybe it wouldn't do landlines. It depends on your dialer, though. if you're using ready mode, I could see that happening. Most likely the numbers, I mean, if you're using batch, it shouldn't filter out the DNC. If you import it yourself, and you're using prop stream for your skip tracing, I just hop on the one-on-ones, man. That'd be the best way to do it. And so, first of all, I gotta. Oh my gosh, I gotta stop some of these. And this is a troll, right? Is it true they're banning having side hustles on March 11th? No, that's not.
What does that mean?
Capitalism has been banned. I have no idea. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Okay, Lord.
What happened March 11th?
I have no idea. The name is Cool Cat, so they're just trying to mess with me. It's just fine. I just wanted to let everyone know. Okay. Samuel says, "What days do you go live?" We go live on the FlipTherk YouTube channel. We go live on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
On the Zach Ginn YouTube channel, we go live on Sundays at 10 p.m. Eastern, night streams. And then on Monday on the Rick Zach Ginn YouTube channel, he goes live at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard. And those are our live stream times on YouTube. Now, after the Tuesday, Thursday live streams, we actually do a bonus hour inside of FlipTherk Plus. And then we have a bonus live stream on Fridays and on Wednesdays in FlipTherk Plus. So I went live at 8 o'clock yesterday on inside FlipTherk Plus for like an hour and a half-ish.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's all of our live streams. So literally, if you combine FlipTherk Plus and FlipTherk, we go live Monday, Tuesday. So wait, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday.
Yeah.
We only go live. The only days we're not live is Saturday.
Yeah.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so some people choose to spend an hour on TikTok. I'll just do an hour on a live. I think I'm crazy, but that's just what I am, you know. Let's see here. Aaron says, I have a $5 million rental portfolio and a 40-acre land deal under contract, and I don't know where to find a buyer. Send it to sellmypaper.com. If not, cold call cash sales. If it's a $5 million, but honestly, like, if you want to get the deal done, though, you could just go to like PropStream, listri.com, go to cash sales, look at ownership info, and make sure the person owns a minimum of 10 properties, and then call those people up too. That works too.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool Cat says, not a troll. I saw an article on MSN, but they took it down.
Yeah.
So Cool Cat.
Once you said MSN,
Cool Cat, I would be in prison right now if that was because I have multiple businesses and they're technically side hustles, I guess. I don't know. Multiple LLCs, multiple S corporations, multiple C corporations. I mean, I'd be streaming from jail right now if that was the case.
Dude, stop watching MSN. That's your first mistake.
Stop watching news.
Period.
I don't watch the news. I seriously don't.
You got to go get facts yourself. If you're going to let a news media company stream it to you, you're going to be manipulated. I don't care if it's online, on TV, social media. This is the problem. You can't verify anything anymore. You just assume everyone's lying.
You know, I've been doing a lot. You know who gives good news? I look at news agencies from outside the United States reporting about the United States because BBC is a good one because they'll tell you like this person won the nomination for whatever. They don't tell you if it's a bad or good thing. They just tell you.
They just tell you.
They just tell you, right?
That's how news used to be.
It's like when they tell you the news in England, it's like this person won the election. Yeah. They don't say that's a bad thing or good thing. They just tell you what's going on. That's one thing I've been doing lately is just listening to international people talk, international news stations talking about the United States because they won't give me a spin on it. It's crazy. Let's see. All right, so let's answer some more questions here. The $5 million deal, that's interesting. I like that. Let's see here. Oh, also FYI for everyone on the FlipTherk Plus waitlist, we send an email out to everyone. We have 25 spots open now. Probably filled up by then, but an email will be sent out in the next 30 minutes, maybe, I think, to everyone on the wait list. And so what we're doing now is we're send the email out and first 25 sign up, boom, you're good to go. So keep your eye out for the wait list email if you are on it. Probably sent to half the people on. So 25, hop on today. You can join it. And then if not, more from me. So let's go see here. David says, I'm about to start wholesaling after I finish. No. You FY wholesale while watching the course. Okay, you can still get a list of drawing for dollars leads while you're going through the freewholesaling.com course. But would you recommend getting deals first or finding buyers first? Depends on your market, but I would probably find a deal first, most likely, unless you're really analysis paralysis. It just depends, though. Let's see. So German, you want to know what period to get the government list? That should all be online. Like pretty much all of them should be online in Miami-Dade. Florida's really easy to find government lists. Let's see here. Also, I just want to say this because this is one of my pet peeves. Maybe it's OCD, but don't say TikTok is getting banned. Say it might get banned. Okay, like I don't like it when people like say stats like wholesaling is banned in the state. Is it banned? Or it might get banned, or it banned this type of. Yeah. You guys have to be careful. Your language is really important, guys, and I hate people causing fear mongering. It's not going to get banned. Okay, it be forced to be sold.
Yeah, and also any sentence you start with "I heard" or "somebody said,"
supposedly,
you lose credibility because there's nobody to rely on the statement. You just was it a commercial? Was it a biased news company? You guys got to be very careful. And when you hear about all this stuff come out about wholesaling and ban stuff, just go look it up. It will cut your clarity. And it depends who feeds you it on what their opinion is on which side. Realtors hate wholesalers and they'll tell you everything's illegal. But then when you talk about the NAR lawsuit, which is record proportions, I don't know. It's not us realtors bad. It's the lawyers. No, so every story, it depends on which side of it. Somewhere in the middle lies the truth. And so whenever you guys put "I heard" or "somebody said" or "I heard a rumor," listen to what you're saying. I heard. You know, how many people in the United States? We don't even know anymore. It's gotten out of control, but you got to start verifying stuff because we got into a society where everybody posts anything. And with AI, it's going to create some problems because people can take your voice, they can take pictures. As much as AI can be used for good, it can be used for bad. So just get the facts, guys. And the main thing is don't overreact when you hear something. The best thing you do is do a little bit of research yourself and find out if it's true.
I agree. Let's see here. These TikTok are zero work ethic there. So David, here's the thing, man. And I'd love not all of them, most of them. Okay. The ones that come from TikTok, 95% of them are lazy, no work ethic, but there's 5% that are crazy work ethic people. So you can't generalize everyone. And so the truth is there's some good ones. Okay. And so some of the top wholesalers I've done deals with, they came from TikTok.
Yeah.
Doesn't make them bad.
It's easy to kind of batch everybody up. I get it. A lot of the short content, it's like most of the TikTok people just throw a contract on anything and they try to figure it out later. You got to go a step further, but that's the nature of TikTok. Let me engage you in 7 seconds. So I'm an ADHD person, so I kind of see how that would be attractive to a lot of people.
Oh yeah, I get it.
That's why people get stuck for hours on TikTok. That blows me away. But the other day I was looking at some funny cat stuff and 20 minutes went by. I'm like, stop, and I hear people doing it for hours. It's very addictive.
Oh yeah. So if you want to talk to us one-on-one, just go here to Wholesaling Houses for Real. It's our Facebook group with 133,700 of my best friends on here. And that's what we do. So you can click here, go to the feature tab, click that, and then boom, Streamer link is right there to talk to me absolutely for free. So let's talk to people one-on-one and see how I can help you guys. So we got Hector's driving.
What's up, y'all?
What's up, man? Driving safe?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Getting honked at.
Yeah, what's up? How can I help you out?
Well, hey, so real quick, I'm out here drawing for dollars right now. I'm trying to find somewhere to park, but I'm good. We'll be all right. I'm finding I'm finding I've moved my areas, so I've changed my marketing for this year. Closer to Kansas City because I'm in Missouri. It's called Independence out here. And I'm finding that a lot of buyers, they still want deep discounts for obviously everybody. But when I'm dispoing them out, it seems like I'm not hitting my numbers like I'd like to. And everyone's still trying to buy really deep, and I'm just trying to figure it out. So I'm going back. I'm having to restructure my deals even more. Is there an easier way? Guys, I mean, I'm pretty direct with my sellers, hey, we need to renegotiate this, or is there a possible another solution we can go, to figure it out.
So what percentage or like how many you had to renegotiate this year?
This year, 3.
Okay. And so
I've only had 5. You dig? That's getting kind of crazy, and I'm hitting them. I'm hitting them at the knees. I promise you, I am. I'm going in.
Okay. And so, I mean, the closer you get to Kansas City, obviously the easier, but from knowing you, I mean, obviously he was on the podcast a year ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I kind of know his beginnings pretty well. He used to work at a Pizza Hut. Just started making a ton of money wholesaling. So shout out to Hector there. But
Appreciate you.
The closer you get to a metro, the easier the buyers are. And then obviously the more rural the market, the harder it is. And so that's kind of your issue, right? And there's a push and pull for you, right? Because yeah, the more rural you are, the way easier to find deals, right? But harder with the dispo side. And then the other side, if you go to Kansas City, like proper, it's hard to find deals, but it's easy to sell them. And so you got to find a happy medium. You're kind of at that point where it's probably easier for you to find deals and harder to sell them. And that's your main issue right now. And so you kind of got to make a decision like what you want to do.
Right. And I mean, I'm like you guys said, the old method, driving for dollars, reverse driving for dollars, sticky notes work. That's gangbusters. That's what's killing it right now. As soon as I came out here, it seems like I don't know. I get text messages from other wholesalers. Oh, dude, you beat me to the punch. He'll send me a picture of my sticky note on somebody's door. That's what's cracking right now. That is exactly what's working for everyone. The reverse driving for dollars, sticky notes, and then calling them up, or having them call you. That's working. That's what works, and that's how I'm getting most of my deals. But like I said, when I get these deals, I'm having, like, right now, I have a deal in Independence that's at 27. I'm like, okay, 27. I was going to get beat out by the friend. Just like you guys said earlier, don't compete for the deal. Well, I competed a little bit. I was going to get beat out by the friend who they know they can buy it, whatever. And I was like at 20. We jumped up $7,000. I didn't think it was going to make that much of a difference. Now I'm over by $2,000. Everyone's coming in at 25, 24 for this property. I'm like, son of a, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to figure it out, how to go back and restructure this to where it's more, because I'm running into this restructuring problem. Like, is there a method that you guys use? Other than being as direct as possible,
So one method I will tell you is to expand. So are you only doing reverse trying for dollars right now?
So I'm door knocking today. So I got a mix of it. So I door knock, reverse drive for dollars. That's my main right now. And then cold call, obviously. But
okay. One method I will tell you could potentially try is just go more niched out on your reverse trying for dollars. And so, like, even finding, let's say, the evictions list and then finding the owners and just popping it there, that's a good one too. Or heck, you don't want to be a cold caller though. That's your problem. So it's like, I would say, I think texting these leads that aren't answering the reverse trying for dollars is probably going to be one of your best ones. And honestly, just cold calling them. For example, you have 100 trying for dollars leads, and you put sticky notes on all of them, and you get 25 callbacks. You should call or text the 75 that didn't call back or answer.
Okay.
And you got to remember this. This is a huge thing. I don't think you're realizing. When you put those 100 sticky notes out and you get 25 callbacks, the average other guy that's doing it, your competition quote, gets the same 25 callbacks or 20 callbacks, right?
Sure.
There's 75 to 80 people who have ugly houses that haven't been contacted by no one.
Right.
That's almost 4x more.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that's doubling your output and your results by doing less drying for dollars in work. And so I think you should go back on people that you put sticky notes out and the people that didn't answer and then go after those people. Because it's more than just out lists.
What do you think, Rick?
Well, how many deals have you done total? Because I know you have a little bit of a history.
I'd have to calculate that. Probably about 15, 16, somewhere around that number.
So
I'd have to really
you've had good success on that. And then so have you basically shifted markets, meaning have you moved areas?
Yeah. So so where I'm at now is I have to drive an hour to get to where I'm at now.
Got it.
And then I've been out here since 11. So it's 1:30 now. So I'm spending about 4 or 5 hours out here.
A basic observation for a guy doing it 21 years. Whenever you change markets, you have a change of market. All real estate's local. So the comfort you had in doing those 15 deals and like cutting your teeth on it, you're just in a new market. Now you're using the same methods, which is what you want to do. The only thing that's changed is the market. It's common for your first set of deals to go through to fall through. Because when you switch markets, even though you're doing it locally, which I love, it's virtual when you first start it because you don't have a lay of the land and you know the pricing. How you figure out pricing is you write contracts, you put them out to cash buyers, they go, I'm only going to pay you this, and 3 or 4 tell you the same thing. You're like, crap, I put it under contract too much. I used to compare my markets to other markets. It's the worst thing you can do. Even though you go, well, 27, that's super cheap. Obviously, that wasn't the right price. So I'm not surprised that about 60% of your contracts have to be renegotiated. But the idea is that number should go down because after a while, you're like, okay, I know roughly what these houses get per square foot. All I got to do is factor in the condition. And then I just got to find the motivated sellers. So I've given you a simple observation, but when you shift markets, it's rough for everybody because you know everything except that local market. If all markets were the same, we'd all be out of business in wholesaling because giant corporations would take it over. And for that reason, because of being local, you're just trying to figure it out. But of the 5 contracts you've written, the next 5, you'll be much more dialed in because you'll have a better lay of the land. I did the same thing when I went to my first outside market. I'm like, oh, these things are cheap. I'll just contract everything. I didn't work that hard. And then I find out the hard way. I go, damn, I'm working for free. I find out. So I started looking at MLS data. I looked at the average square foot. I looked at FSBOs. And after a while, nobody wants to sit there and write contracts that aren't going to stick. And we all hate going back for price reduction. So it's just learning. Remember, when I go into a virtual market right off the bat, we have a 60, 70% failure ratio. You know why? Because we don't know the market. I go, man, I'll buy a property for 25 grand. It's dirt cheap, and find out you can get on MLS for 25 and you don't have to go through all the crap we did. So I think part of it, I wouldn't overanalyze it. Just get better at writing, valuing what the properties are. And then once you figure out that baseline, it should be relatively easy. It's the same method you're using there. You just have a different market. Don't overreact to it.
Sure.
And by the way, guys, wholesaling is never a perfect art. You just got to keep stepping in the batter's box, putting up, and you have to learn. And if you constantly have to renegotiate contracts, it means you're overpaying it. So okay, what's different? I switched markets. I haven't figured out how to price it. Welcome to wholesaling. That everybody goes through this. So I wouldn't panic at what you're doing. You're just trying to dial in. It's so weird because you're in one market and like, okay, this would actually get me a deal. I go to this market and these prices aren't cutting the mustard. It kind of shocks you for a little bit. But that's the norm. Jump over to California, Florida, and like New York, you'll be like, everything's different. But then I can jump over to like St. Lucie area and get a nice house in the 140s, 150s If I try to compare that to Florida, I'll never make it. So you have to compartmentalize each market you do and not try to make a comparison. I can go 50 miles north and I get a 15% discount right off the bat. And I didn't factor that in when I first did it. And I think you're having, so how far are your markets apart?
Like I said, from where I was to where I am now, it's about an hour.
Yeah. So that's, yeah, it's
mean,
it's like you're on another planet, like on pricing. It's like, why is it so different here? It's just, remember, everything's about supply and demand and like what areas are hot and what's not. And it's always going to be changing on you. And
right.
once you get it and dial it in, you get some on the stick. You're like, okay, now I know exactly what it is per square foot in this area. And it's now you got a cheat sheet, but getting that cheat sheet, I don't know about you, man, but when I used to have math class, I never understood why they put the cheat sheets in the back, upside
in the
down.
back of the book.
Yeah, and you're looking for it and you don't have it. But the thing is, we have to create our own cheat sheets. Sometimes you can get it by going to like local RIAs and stuff and getting some, but it's a very, very specialized local knowledge. And once you get it, you become dangerous. You already got the techniques down. To me, that's the hardest part. Figuring out the market, it's just a time thing. So on average, it takes about 90, 120 days to really dial in a market, like how to price it. And the best way to price it is trial and error, exactly what you're doing. So like, don't lose sleep. I know they're not fun conversations, but they're better than no conversations. So
right. No, you're right about that. Yeah. I might have to go back to watch that video you guys made about finding the hottest zip codes in the area, because I might have to redo that again for this one. Because I'm only hitting this side of Independence is because I went to some of my buyers. Hey, where should I go to my buyers? Hey, where should I go if I'm hitting this area? Where would you like? You know what I mean? So I find that very useful for me. Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate your time. I know you got other people, so thank you, guys.
All right.
Okay.
Perfect.
Hector.
Boom. I like putting him on. You know, he's done some great deals, and I just want to give a shout out to him there. You know, I truly love having people that kind of start out a journey and then their journey just goes crazy. And he's kind of at a crossroads now where he's going to make a big change in his life. And I think he's going to get some crazy good results coming in from it. So I'm super excited for him, and I'm pumped up for him. So also, guys, want to give a quick announcement. We're going to have a crazy couple of weeks personally between me and Rick. So I'm going around. I'm doing a little international thing a couple of weeks. So it's going to be pretty fun and exciting. I'll keep everyone updated on that. And so you might not see me in 2 weeks, just for like, a couple of weeks. I'll be out. I'll be chilling. That'd be cool. And so what we're going to do is really kind of blast things off. So you have plenty of content. But I mean, Rick will be here doing live streams. And so what this means is we're doing a 3-day virtual event. Okay. We're doing a 3-day virtual wholesaling event. It's basically virtual wholesaling. I don't know how else to call it. But basically it's going to be a 3-day event. And we got to decide if we're going to do it live or if we want to go do it just recorded. I think we'll figure it out by tomorrow. But basically it's going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's going to be a part 1, a part 2, and a part 3. So it's going to be a full 3-part series on virtual wholesaling from start to the entire enchilada. So it's going to be very exciting. We got it all written out. It's pretty cool. But pretty much it's going to be, while you're watching, it's going to be like a full event for 3 days. And it'd be pretty cool. So we did our 7 deals in 7 days challenge. This one is going to be our 3-day challenge, all about virtual wholesaling. And so it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be an event. I'm not really good at the namings of this. But really what I want to do is really give my international audience, my virtual wholesalers, a chance to shine. Because the 7 deals in 7 days challenge was a lot of people, for the people that were doing it in person, right? And so it's for virtual wholesaling. And really want to focus on you guys hard because, heck, we got that. And then in July, in the summer, we got the biggest one of them all, the Super Bowl of wholesaling, the 3rd-day wholesaling challenge.
Yep.
Every month, like clockwork, it gets done. It's going to be, obviously, this year is going to be the biggest one. But last year was insane. So yeah, we actually did June last year. This is going to be July this year because I want to do 30 days, actual 30 days. So July is going to be the big challenge. It's going down. And so we're excited about that. And so what we want to do is just have a kind of a mini challenge before the huge, massive one, just for my virtual wholesaling family, and really break it down for 3 days. And so the 3 days is really going to be split up of, first of all, like virtual wholesaling general. And then number 2 is really going to be focused hard on the acquisition side for virtual wholesaling. And then the third is going to be the disposition side. And the big reason why we're making this is on our 30-day wholesaling challenge, talk about virtual wholesaling, but like it's talked about for maybe like a day or two. But like this is going to be like, whoo, in your face. It's going to be a lot. And it's going to be really cool. It's going to be really exciting. Let me know, guys, in the comments. Should it be live? Should it not be live? Should it be recorded? Do you guys want it edited really nicely? Each day is going to be, we're sitting down for hours doing it. So we can edit it down to like an hour and a half maybe, or do a full 3 hours each day. You let me know which one you guys want to do. But it's going to be insane.
That's all I can say. Live event too.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be exciting. So if you guys want it, a lot of people want it live. It's interesting. So we'll see which one we want to do. But yeah, we're gonna do a 3-day event. So just know that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, videos will be released at 1:00, and they're going live at 1. We're doing it live, or doing it at 1. So whatever one you guys want. But virtual wholesaling 3-day event. It's going to be March 18th to the 20th. We're excited about that and get it going. Just want to give everyone an FYI. So no video is going to be released like recorded on Monday. It's going to be the event.
Yep.
So I'm pretty jacked up for it and excited to help you guys out, become the best virtual wholesaler possible. So really quick, we got Mac on here. He's got a question. What's up, man?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, sweet. Oh man, I've actually been trying to get on with you guys for a while. I've got a lot of questions. I'll try to keep it brief. First off, I've got to thank you guys. Both me and my dad are here. You guys have been a huge inspiration for us, so we really appreciate everything you guys are doing.
Thank you.
That's awesome, man.
We just locked up a deal yesterday. It was an internet lead that we got. It was kind of a one-off. We honestly don't do internet leads. We just kind of happened upon it.
Mm-hmm.
We locked the property up for $215. The ARV, I probably would have wanted to lock it up a little bit lower, but they would not budge. I got them to come down from like 275, 285 to 215.
Mm-hmm.
The property, we very conservative ARV would be 285. There are houses that sold like a year and a half, 2 years ago, up in the like mid threes. And so, yeah, I guess one of my big questions is, do you guys have any tips on finding rental buyers?
That's easy, man. Come on. You know this.
You mean just you're talking about just like targeting people who are just renting out houses?
So your best rental buyers, so the rental buyers that pay the most,
okay,
are going to be, you've seen my stuff, right? It comes down to a list, right? And so statistically, people who have less rental properties will pay more per rental than the slumlord that owns 100, right?
Okay.
And so the people that are renting out their own property, talking to their own tenants, screening their own tenants that are like, I want the best bang for my buck here. I'm going to manage it myself.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the people that pay the most.
Okay.
By far, right?
Hands down.
Because there's less
in perfect condition.
There's less like games, right? There's no like middleman or middlewoman on there, right? And it's like that person does it all. So they make decisions for themselves, all this stuff. So these are the people that buy a rental property and list it by themselves.
So just landlords with fewer properties.
Yes. And so you can either get a landlord list and then get minimum properties owned 3 or 4 that bought a house for cash. You can also just go to the 4 rents and they have their own phone number. And you just call them up like, I'm actually not looking to run out your property. I'm a wholesaler. My name's Mac, and I'm seeing if you're looking to buy any more rentals. I actually have a deal that's locked up in the same zip code.
Okay, man. I know that sounds like stupid easy for you, but that
sounds simple. But like I'm telling you, they do it. Like every guy that owns rental and they do it themselves. Their phone number, they screen all the tenants themselves.
So another question for both of you guys. And I don't know if this is in your wheelhouse, but my dad and I both would love to JV with you guys, just so that we can start learning and be part of the community. Whether it's on this deal or on a future deal, we want to work with you guys. If I can, I want to be at this event. I'm here in the Tyler area, Tyler, Texas.
Oh yeah.
So we're right outside of DFW. I don't care if I got to sit on the ground. I will come and sit on the ground at the freaking event. I'm not just saying that is no joke. But I want to make sure that yeah, we provide value to you guys as well. Is this something that you guys would be interested in possibly JVing on?
Yeah, send it.
Okay.
Summitpaper.com.
Yeah, we got to take a look at it and underwrite it. But either way, we could.
Is it in Tyler?
It's a really good community. So I don't know if you're familiar with Tyler. Just north of Tyler, there's oh my gosh, what is that little Hideaway? It's called Hideaway. There's a little neighborhood. It's identical to that.
Don't say anything. Don't say anything more. You're gonna get your deal stolen if you say anything more.
Oh, well, I'm not gonna, trust me, I'm not gonna say where the deal's at. But where the deal is at, it's very similar to that property. And I already have a few people that have driven by to take a look at it. The situation is the guy's in his, I would say probably in his 70s or 80s. He fell down. It has a sunken in family room. He fell down the stairs and broke his hip. So they're just wanting to downsize and move out of the property into something that's a little bit easier for him to move around in.
Got it.
And so that's, at first they didn't want to budge off of 275. And then when we went there, we conditioned them. Both me and my dad had a great conversation with them. And then by the time we called them back, I actually made the offer at 185. Like, I wasn't trying to break their knees or anything. I was just, I wanted to make sure that we could perform, and he would not budge off of 215 because they're trying to buy another property. And so anyways, that's kind of the situation there.
I will, man. Summitpaper.com. Let's look at it.
Okay, sweet. One last question. I swear I'll leave you guys alone. Would you guys recommend us just sticking to the Tyler area, and just mastering this market?
Yeah, I would. The county's 230,000.
Yeah,
plenty.
it's a killer. And we're getting, we might have a few deals that we might want to JV with you guys. I'm working with another guy that he's got 5 properties, 3 of which are bangers. Like, and when I say bangers, they are killer deals, super rundown. He's got family that's living in them that is not paying rent. He's struggling to pay the taxes. And so, but he keeps going cold on me. Like, and I worry that he's trying to shop me out. And so, again, I'd love to get you guys involved in these, just to start building the relationship. If you guys are open to it, I'll send you all the addresses.
All right, keep it up. I'll keep an eye out for it. All right.
Okay, sounds good. My name is McClellan Burke. My dad's Sterling Burke, so just keep an eye out for that.
All right,
shout out to Dad, man. I appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it.
Hopefully, we'll see you in Dallas when we're over there.
Okay, let me know. I will be there. I'll nag you. I really do want to be there.
No, you just got to be with Flip with Rick Plus. Either we do a deal together, or you do like the paid one.
Well, I tried actually to join, but you guys have closed the registration.
Yeah, I got to be on the wait list.
I know you guys are loaded, but
no, just the wait list. Get on the wait list because we're gonna do the final.
Well, I'm already there.
The event there, and when it comes,
I only the one guy let on the wait list. There was one guy I let him skip the wait list. You know why?
Why?
His name was Rick, and his son's name was Zach.
Really?
Anybody in the whole thing? I said, okay, I'll let you in.
Well, Mac might change his
name. I said, all right, I'll let you in.
I can always have a nickname. My nickname can be Zach. My dad, he's a wise old man. He can be Rick.
There you go. Just get on the wait list, and
we're already there.
Get ready to do an opening, so
all right.
You'll be good.
So,
okay, sweet. Thank you guys. Appreciate it,
man.
Appreciate it. All right, guys. If you want to learn wholesaling real estate for free, go to freewholesaling.com. We'll see you soon. This is Zach Ginn signing out.
Rick Ginn signing out.